a real challenge. We've seen public health modeling that shows what happens if these variants do take hold in Canada. We saw that one travel case resulted in many.
This idiot just said, not Trudeau. Oh, we see that travel is not the cause of coronavirus. You're an idiot.
One case of the variant.
So far, I've been in 8 stores today with fucking idiots.
And that's why we need to take extra measures. Yes, it is extremely low, the percentage of cases that are traced back to international travel, but it's not
what
zero.
I love, a conscientious
making
crackhead.
sure we are doing everything we can, which includes
they will never blow the smoke
testing on arrival and a mandatory 3-day hotel stay while we're waiting for the results of that test, so that anyone who's positive gets into a permanent quarantine center where they can be closely monitored for various.
And then I got every fucking half-aged guy going, you're a smoker. I know you're not
we've already taken, like the boarding test that we're now amending. The ban on all foreign nationals in terms of non-essential travel has been in place since March.
Oh, am I being racist?
The
Yeah.
quarantine measures that have been in place since March, measures that just now the U.S. is adopting. Oui, nous sommes très préoccupés par
yes, we're very concerned by the arrival of variants of this virus. We saw what happened in Barrie, Ontario.
We're going to do it your way. Dumb nigger, you're going to learn. Dumb nigger, how come the nigger's not going? My dog isn't going. I whipped him, he's not going. How come my nigger's not going when I whipped him? This is what you come across as. Dutch East India Company. We're going to retake this colony.
These increased measures to detect COVID-19 at the airport and a quarantine period in a hotel near the airport while awaiting test results. Those are all measures that will help us.
En train de mettre un système en place qui va attraper le plus possible.
We are putting a system in place that will allow us to catch as many of these new variants as possible.
Yeah, allow us to catch as many of these new variants as possible. The word was trap. I didn't even hear him say it. But I know the word was trap, not catch. You fucking whore. Let's see who's calling me. Nobody. That's interesting.
Just next week or throughout the month of February?
Well, thank you for your question. So in my conversation with the head of Pfizer, we talked about the question of 5 doses versus 6 doses. Health Canada is right now analyzing the state of extraction of doses in Canada, the necessary techniques, training, equipment necessary. They will make the decision.
Every time somebody starts speaking French and we're listening, you cut them off and play some retard fucking temporary foreign worker going, he just talking French now. We have no fucking idea what's going on now. Your station has defeated its purpose. You've also got the shittiest bumper music in the fucking world. You guys are fucking retarded. You're as retarded as all the people I dealt with this morning. You want to know something? A whole bunch of them getting stabbed and shot the next weekend. You're lucky. You're lucky all you fuck with this information. Pussies.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Information next week.
Let them all call the cops and say I'm threatening them. Because they keep doing it and the cops ain't coming. So I'm getting a little fucking uptight about that too.
No, sorry. We are, of course, watching closely on that supply chain, but the announcement Moderna has made on a reduction of about 20% across the board of deliveries for this coming
So is this a slave master?
Only for this shipment and
he's black and he's Italian. Then am I thinking of Spaniards? The moops, right, Seinfeld.
I want to cover these travel restrictions.
Every store where you tell your clerks, it's okay, they'll take them like nigga. They're not taking that out. It's okay. I called the cops. You're getting shot or your store's getting burned down. Is this simple? Is that fucking simple? We've been doing it this way in this neighborhood.
Can you confirm that?
145 years.
You know, for making all the sacrifice.
What did they say, 1888?
In November, will international travel resume any shape or form?
133, my bad. 133. Is it 1888? No, but there's 1870 shit too.
doing this to keep as many
Coming
Canadians
at me with your
alive
executive.
and healthy.
Josie, buddy.
As we can
Yeah.
through this
If you're gonna hold
pandemic.
your knife,
We're taking difficult
pretend the
measures
pencil's a knife.
now so
Thursday,
that
buddy.
we can get through this quicker.
That's how you
so
hold a
that,
knife to threaten somebody, eh?
have
You're
less
coming to run to the
damage to our
defense of the
economy,
girl,
to our industries,
treating me like
to
shit
our
because you
workers,
told
to
her she could get away with it.
This is something that Canada is focused on, and that's why we
3
brought
different
in
employees at the same
so
store, but
many
it's the same
different
manager each time
restrictions
that comes
on
out.
international travel from
Hey, buddy, you know how you got that
because
store
we knew
open?
that keeping
When they
Canadians
button
safe
down the store that was there
needed to be
before.
our first order of business,
So
not
as far as
just
I'm concerned, that ain't your
for
store.
the health and safety of
As far as I'm
Canadians, but
concerned,
for
that
the
ain't your
health and
fucking
safety of
store.
our economy as well. If we want to come roaring back strongly, we need to make sure we are minimizing the disruption.
You know how horrible the sound quality is? Sounds like you're talking through one of them.
In regards to when
Those
we're gonna
radio
get to
shows
travel
that I
again,
put on at night.
when
The
things are gonna
difference
go back
is
to
people
normal,
were
that's
still
the question
learning the
we've been
recording arts
asking
at that time. There was no
ourselves
school of
every
recording
month
arts in
since last March.
1946
When
to.
is this going to be over?
Your boss tells you, guess what? Now you're a black guy that's old and you're recording this and that. Or now today you're playing an Indian. Next year you're going to play a prospector.
What Canada will look like this summer, what
Dog,
Canada will look like
make
this fall.
dog sounds. We don't have a goddamn dog.
Far fewer restrictions that we will be able to
Arr,
adopt
arr, arr,
a
arr.
more regular life.
That's not good enough. What do you mean it's not good enough? It sounds like a dog, damn it.
Allies and partners will be at that same place. It's something we're going to have to look at carefully before we reopen.
It really sounds like it's an old recording. I forget if it's magnetic tape or whatever, but the sound quality goes just a little bit.
Focus on this as possible to make sure we get through as quickly as possible and
make your case or don't. The supervised release went out my life. It's just an end run
I'm just
around
looking perhaps a little more precision on the when question. So as public health officials, you're
I did not use
things
my
on the
Presto card all
when,
day.
you'll be looking at a variety of factors. I assume case counts.
I still got 2 dentists to go visit because I got 2 racist secretaries to do it there.
Can you be a little more precise?
SO sold me rolling papers with no
We can then
hassles.
start thinking about.
Give them the receipt. Imagine that. We just had to go to.
More precise on that.
That was
Let
the
me give you an
4th
example
store.
right now. We're very much
With the
looking
gas
at
station,
what the
here's a bunch
spring
of
budget
idiots.
is going to look like.
And the store over here just
how
won't sell
much
them.
or what elements of
The good time you come, you die, buddy.
recovery
Oh, really? That's what you're gonna tell me.
depend very much on where we are and where we think we
If
are.
I let
in
myself
terms of
inside your
the
store,
economy
you're not gonna be happy with me.
things getting back to
You are
normal. There are
not
many
gonna be
different
happy
things
with
we're
me.
looking at in terms of how we get back to normal. Not all of them are in our direct
Now that I see the
control
Italian
as
flags,
a
I tell you what, I'm
government,
never buying
or
these
even as a
again.
society. For example,
If I have the choice of what to buy.
vaccines in preventing reinfections or preventing spread of COVID-19. There are many things that are still being looked at, and we will always bring in all those factors to make the right decisions for Canadians and for our economy. We said from the beginning that we'd have Canadians' backs and we'd get through this the best way possible.
Back.
That's exactly what we're on
But no
track
ass,
to do.
dog.
Morning, Prime Minister Kevin
If
Gallagher.
you're not from the rack, sorry, you just teach the kids from Forest Hill.
For something even stricter. I told
In
them it is
DC,
on
right.
international
We're
travel.
trying to wait.
Something the opposition parties seem to support,
Uh,
especially with the
16,
new
2, 3,
variants
pretty sure
that
it's
surely
4.
aren't all coming
Remember that.
from Sunshine Destination. So
Sunshine
why not
Destinations.
stricter measures, even with travel?
These
and
guys just spent 10 minutes telling us
why
how.
isn't your government acting sooner on this?
Why aren't they acting sooner on this? Listen to these white people. And remember, the government cannot stop a Canadian from leaving Canada, cannot stop a Canadian from returning to Canada. There is no legal way for the government to do that. If you attempt to do it, it's man trapping, forcible confinement, threatening, all sorts of things. False arrest, but it is not legal. It is not constitutional. It doesn't matter who you are. How come the Prime Minister is not breaking all the rules? I accused him of breaking the rules for 6 years and he didn't really, but now that I want him to, he won't.
The results of that test,
Well,
the cancellation of flights to sun destinations and to Mexico, these are things.
sun destinations
that will
and Mexico.
significantly
Thank you,
reduce,
Prime
the
Minister.
risk of importation of new variants.
Thank you, Prime
across the
Minister
country.
Teacher.
But we, as always, have a multi-layered approach that works with partners to ensure
1381.
feasibility
dust,
and
1388.
maximum safety for Canadians in a way that is responsible, and that's exactly the balance that we've struck.
Hello, Prime Minister Michael Lanfield, Canadian Press. questions on the
Idiots trying to hold me. We know it's a setup, man. Did you get your cigarette? You want to sell some? I don't understand you fucking idiots.
The European Commission has asked.
One guy wants to buy a dime. You hear that? One guy wants to buy a dime. Does he tell anybody? No. He tell me. I didn't see any money. The other guy has $6 supposedly trying to buy cigarettes. He showed me the money. No, he asked me 18,000 fucking questions about do I have cigarettes. Buddy, I'm out of here. I need your 16 fucking dollars, stupid. You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna blow their money on something cost twice as much. Get half as far, and they're gonna blame me.
Largest number of doses as quickly as possible.
I'm gonna budget my fucking money and not need their fucking money.
For Canadians, that has driven us every step of the way. It drove us to sign more
Get the fuck out of here.
with more companies than most of our allies. Certainly, it drove us to secure more doses per person.
I thought he did, but then he said he doesn't. He does, and he says he doesn't, so I don't fucking know what that means. I know what it means. It's the same thing I just said. These idiots are fucking irritating.
Every step of the way in negotiating and signing contracts with
I'll fucking kill all you people.
companies. At the same time, we have always tried to be as transparent as possible, both on what we spent globally on vaccines, but also more and more details as they're made available.
Mr. Crackhead police officer in the next apartment. When you smoke crack in the bathroom, it gets sucked into my apartment, stupid.
Canadians, but every step of the way, our focus is first and foremost on getting the help to Canadians they need as quickly as possible, and we're not going to risk jeopardizing that.
Hi, Prime Minister Tom Perry, CDC. Has Moderna told you what's causing this disruption, and have you received assurances from the company that it's only the one shipment that's going to be reduced?
I spoke with Moderna last week. I believe
you just
earlier this week.
Justin,
together.
Did you order the pizza? I just got off the phone with the pizza place.
Concerns they had around
drama teacher, a politics teacher.
Process.
He's a drama teacher. He is teaching those kids from his. I'm sure of it. I'm sure this is all a lesson in the futility of politics.
Is only going to be for this one shipment at this point. It's just a 20% reduction.
He's giving everybody what they want. They still are unhappy.
70,000, I think, vaccines from Moderna in this current shipment.
But he's proven that the provinces can't handle the weed business for the life of them. They can't.
Very, very closely.
You've got the exclusive license. You have lost $1 million a week for 2 straight years. They've lost $120 million in 104 weeks.
As expected, as planned, we will continue to work closely with
whatever. Maybe I'm off, but it's 60 million this year, 60 million that year. Well, there's 52 school years, so I don't know how to calculate that. See what I'm saying? I got drug dealer math. Okay, 2 years, 104 weeks, 120 million.
For these vaccines.
But did they tell us that exactly? No.
Them to fluctuate a little bit, which is why we worked so hard to first of all.
Why didn't legalize it because people want it, and put the provinces in charge because the provinces wanted it. Everybody wants vaccines, okay? We'll make arrangements for the vaccine. He did. Everybody's yelling at him because Pfizer's not delivering. Well, he did what you asked. I could have told you not to give him the money up front. Could have told you not to order 88 million doses. That doesn't even make sense.
In December was an extra.
We don't have 44 million
we were able to do that got us to stand
up. I'm trying to break it down to 3. What is it? 29 million times 3?
It wasn't something that we had necessarily
planned. 87
something that we were able to work for and get.
I'm gonna kill you all. I'm gonna kill you all. Hey. You're so good at this, you've been doing it. Why does it say French with an Italian fucking...
6 million doses of vaccines by the end of March, and we are still
that's what
very much on track for that.
Fabrication francesa Catina de Relax.
Canadians, and that is the number that we are going to hit, despite momentary delays and fluctuations that are hitting countries and productions.
It says CDEX France. You assume that's what
remain very
but the label for the Italian market, Fabricazione Francese Catina de Relax. Catina Autosottura. Roma Arabica Nazionale.
I can reassure Canadians on.
Not Italian individuals, just
we are going to get there.
The Italian state, Republic.
Tu vois, Bernard nous a partagé, quand j'ai parlé avec le PDG de Moderna il y a quelques jours.
Did she literally just say question, answer, to tell us what the fuck just happened? Yeah, the one guy asked the question and the other one's answering it. Wow.
Temporary reduction in calling the Six City News listener line. Please leave your comment that may be used on air now.
You've got the worst translators in the world. Absolute worst. Absolute worst. To tell us what the question was that just got said, they're speaking over the question. And the entire word they have for us is question. The entire answer that the Prime Minister gives, she says, answer. You guys are fucking retarded. How much money did you spend on that, you fucking pussy-holes? Just run it through straight, you fucking retards. God, I hate you fucking people. Go ahead, complain that my phone number's harassing you. I'll be dead before it matters.
What is an example of that? Who will be doing this increased surveillance? Who will pay for it?
How will we be doing this increased surveillance? It's medical surveillance, stupid. There's no increase in anything. You'd be forgiven for not knowing what it means. It's all the documentation that they have on here.
The federal government has hired a private security company. We have our own personnel as well.
Oh, so you hired a security company and you have your own personnel. So you have two sets of security holes and both teams can go, oh, well, that's the other guy. That's why you don't ever do it that way. Ever. Ever. You never do it that way. Go find me where it says that's how private information is handled in this country. We hired randomly some security company and our own people. And that's how it works here. Shit, you put two different kinds in those. It's my fault for dumping them over.
Across the country.
Never heard the 45. The sound of it makes me feel like. Hey, by the way, don't be like me. Laugh at what I'm doing if you want. On the other hand, if these racist bastards trying to kill you, you make a couple prank phone calls and that's all you do, you're much better behaved than I am. I'm burning these people's fucking stores now.
We have increased surveillance and enforcement measures of mandatory quarantines. From last March, we were working with police of jurisdiction who have the authority to ensure
of jurisdiction
local police forces,
who have the authority,
provincial police forces have the authority to follow up on quarantine requirements.
They don't. It's federal.
Police from Vancouver,
the quarantine rules are federal.
The Ontario provincial police to elsewhere.
The quarantine rules are federal.
Part of this monitoring.
You go with the Canadian forces to an undisclosed location.
The number of calls
it's
we're making
federal.
from the federal government. We're hiring private security.
Hey, what happened last week when they were looking for the cop who was sucking dick for money? They put his warrant out on the thing.
Returning travelers
on the radio, public media. They said he was giving sexual favors or something, didn't they? In order to get his car towed or something?
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who's announced some pretty tight travel restrictions. Trudeau says Canadian travelers returning from overseas will have to take a COVID-19 test at the airport and then quarantine in a designated hotel for 3 days at their own expense while they wait for the results. He says that's expected to cost more than $2,000. He says those with negative test results will then be able to go home.
You realize how fucking useless it is to hear somebody telling me what I'm trying to hear the Prime Minister say, cutting them off to say it. You realize how fucking stupid you people are. This is as useless as having your subcontractors hack our networks. And you can deny that all you want. We've got the proof. You've got your subcontractors harassing our networks. That's funny because we don't believe in separation, just like you do. Maybe you've been drinking. Nope.
Well, with DriveFed, it's easy, and you'll be supporting the Canadian Cancer Society. When you sign up at drivefed.ca, you'll help fund groundbreaking research and support services for people affected by cancer. And you can reduce your own risk of cancer. Try stopping for a week or the whole month. Go as dry as you're willing to try this February. Sign up at drivefed.ca. It's easier than you think.
It's the Ram 4x4 Winter event. How about a more dramatic name? Like the Ram Winter Doesn't Stand a Chance event. With big discounts on Ram truck.
How about the Dodge Ram is built for pussy holes because it's got the miniature back doors and the miniature engine and it's got the Daimler Chrysler keys. Oh, this is interesting. Don't tell me how far I walked. I don't want to know. 5,131, 5.130 kilometers. I don't know why I did that. 25 steps per minute. 1.5 kilometers per hour, 254 calories burned since I left. Why is it not going off? I'm going to kill everybody, I swear to God. I swear to God. don't know why it's not going off. Should have been this whole time. I need to smoke a fucking joint. Everybody's gonna help me and tell me how I need to be. Don't worry, I got music lined up. So every store I go into, so the one store, they've always got the Rizla papers hidden under the fucking counter for some reason. 8 other fucking packages on the fucking shelf, but not these ones. And this time I go in, the woman's not there, just the guy. So he will not sell them to me, apparently. Every month I've gone there, they've had them, but not this month. Let's see. Did I go into stores and the fucking ventilation's turned off? Can't breathe. That's right. That means my lungs start bleeding immediately, and I fall down, in your property where you call emergency. Oh, somebody has a knife, and then I get to wait 2 hours for the ambulance to come, and then the police get to declare me dead even though I'm still alive. No. We mastered the slave trade. Period. You're not going to use that against me like he's too stupid to know no oxygen does this and no food does it. No. I've got individuals around me smoking crack, trying to blow the smoke at me, thinking I'm the one that's going to get hurt by their crack smoking. Nope. Everybody tries to hold me up and delay me here, there, and everywhere, so the next guy who's already started with me will get his chance. Hey, but we're going to talk. No, we're not. No, we're not. I don't fucking know you. I don't know why your homeboy started with me. He put his hands on me, he breathed in my face. Guess what? He's getting shot. It's too late for you to go, oh, you just leave me alone. Okay, we don't have guns. We keep it fair. Buddy, I never said we're going to keep it fair. When the fuck did I ask you if you had a gun, stupid? Why the fuck would I ask you? I would just walk up and stab you in the goddamn eye. Why would I ask you if you had a gun? This is the fucking reactions, people. This is the weirdo shit people say to me. Well, we keep it fair over here. We don't have gun. You keep it fair. Excuse me. There's 2 of you. So if I'm 130 pounds, between the 2 of you, there's about 400 pounds. That's about 3 to 1. You keep it fair. And it's funny because I said guns because I was referring, I forget exactly how I was saying it, something about you're going to get shot. Me and my boys play with guns. We ain't getting into no fist fight. We play with guns. Oh, we don't play with guns. We keep it fair. I don't know what that means, bro. I know I'm all over the map right now. What? And I've heard the 45. The sound of it makes you feel alive. I'm going to open this one so fuck up. My name is Noah. Why people want to ask me what I have when they're trying to buy something from me? Hold on. Like, if you know I have weed, why are you asking me how much I have or where I got it? All these other weirdo questions. The question should be, do you have $10 a week or whatever the fucking question is? You know what I'm saying? So it's obviously a setup. Oh, I got a half ounce here and 3 cartons here. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck lost. Just get the fuck lost with that shit. Oh, I just want to look at it and compare quality. And no, you're not doing none of that. You're a fucking junkie. Why the fuck would I hand you weed ever? And how the fuck are you going to tell me if the weed's any good, you fucking junkie, white boy? Who do you think you are? I think I'm running under a bridge, so you'll chase me. And only one of us is going to walk out from under here. Talking to my friend about my door getting kicked in. Oh, I heard about that. How the fuck did you hear about that? Was I talking to you? I wasn't talking to you when you said that? Really? Really? I know I'm venting all over the place. As much nonsense as here's the deal. The Prime Minister's talking nonsense today. Absolute nonsense. So it doesn't matter if I'm really listening to him today because he's talking absolute nonsense. Well, kids, tomorrow we're going to have to talk about vaccines. And the kids are going, what's a vaccine? He said, well, it's a funny story there. It's not a thing at all. So I don't feel bad about that, really. And that is the only part about this morning I would feel bad about. All you people want to point me up, say I threatened you, I did this, I did that. That's okay, because I got a doppelganger. And I catch grief because of this motherfucker everywhere I go. Not because of him, but... No, I got to play 2 sides on that. I got to figure, if I'm not trying to get him in trouble with people, why would I assume he's doing that with me when people are doing? I can't assume that. I can't assume that because he doesn't do that to me. Or I would hear about, hey man,
our buddy that looks just like you said you're doing this and you're doing that. I never get that. I never get that from anybody. So obviously that's not happening, right? Does that make sense? My uncle and his aunt can't tell us apart. Hey, his aunt walks up to me. Oh, you look a lot like my nephew. I'm like, yeah, I know. No, you don't understand. As a guess, I do. And she didn't say, "Oh, fuck, your cousin, a lot of trouble for him" or anything like that. So obvious. So I don't think he's doing that to me either. But it is a plausible deniability thing when these people swear up and down they know who I am and they know where I go and where I live and what I do. And these are the people testifying in front of judges about what drugs I do. And they heard my TV set, which I don't know. And he chased me down the hall. Then I made it to the elevator, and I waited 4.5 minutes. And when the elevator got there, magically his neighbor came out and said these things about how he's bad to his dog. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, eh? Know what I do know? People drop dead in this neighborhood all the time. You know what happens when that happens? Nothing. Nothing. It don't matter you're the prime minister or a cop. I mean nothing when you drop. You don't mean nothing out there. All your complaints, everything just poof, don't matter no more. All you people gonna do this and that. I don't understand how we keep going to the same store, getting the same fucking garbage treatment from people. What I find hilarious is people that pass themselves off as minorities, and then they're racist themselves because of some weird justification in their head about how they're mixed with this or mixed with that, so they're really not a minority. The more specific I get, the more racist I sound. Which is all fine and well. I don't care about that, but it won't make sense. It won't make sense. Okay, you're a minority or you're not a minority. I don't care. You're in Canada. You're a human being. Fine. You're Canadian. Fine. I don't care. Which means you have the rights of a white person. Sort of. That's how they look at it. Why are you shitting on me when you think I'm the half-breed? How the fuck you think you're better than me? You're not. It shouldn't take 27 minutes to roll a fucking joint.
At their homes, while those with positive tests will have to stay in designated government facilities. All international flights only are being allowed to arrive at 4 airports.
No, see, already, if the people at the fuck, what are they called? The revenue agents or whatever. By the way, our border services and revenue agent tax department were the same people for a while, which almost makes sense if you admit the borders are just to collect taxes. Oh my God, how big is this Ontario at? Oh, holy fuck! I'm daddy all. It's a green and white trillion. Already, if it's not Public Health Agency of Canada, what the fuck are these people called? If they didn't fucking like your plan when you landed here as to where you were going, which is pretty vague. We don't like your plan. You had to go with them to, quote unquote, an undisclosed location. You know what that is? A military base or a hotel. Why hotel? Not because somehow the hotel business will be the knight in shining armor to protect us all. That's not it. That style of construction which is basically what this was essentially supposed to be. When they got to the final steps of approving this structure that I'm standing in, no, I had somebody fill me in from the neighborhood. Oh, this makes sense. The reason there's no visitor parking and shit, this was somehow approved as a fucking hotel, and then they changed. I know what they did. I know what they did because they do it to this day. We all got a computer and a phone to call up our representatives, whatever. You watch your people on YouTube or Twitter videos, we're going to sign a petition. We can do all that 45 years ago? Yeah, it was a little different. It'd be very easy to fucking pull some shit off in City Hall. Fuck it off.
Fix up if you acting funny. Yeah. Are you dumb? Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. A nigga wrote a statement on me. Who can I trust? My mom's denying no women shelter. It was just us.
We don't trust the. Ooh, this shit is.
Yeah. Certain man gotta fix up quick.
Mix up. Generally getting in our mix. What's the mix up?
Battle who, when, where, never. I left my dread hang, put 12K from my G-Stack. If you're shorty fiending, then I might just have to fix. I'm the shopper's junk mark, booming in the 6. How you get it? Out the mud, community housing. North side of the rest, places you weren't allowed in. Bitches used to laugh at the kid, and I wanna see me. Told her put these on so you can see me coming in 3D. First coming to the money, you looking like Bueller. Your favorite's not for everybody. I had to maneuver, shooting for the stars. That was that way they were shooting. I go Bob the Builder for the fix up.
Yeah, coming at me with a fucking box cutter was smart. I was smart.
Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. A nigga wrote a statement on me. Who can I trust? My mom's denying a women's shelter. It was just us. A man tried to come for the kid. I told him head back ever before they start aiming at your head back. You get that? Backhand the back of your head. They tell you head back. They wanna let they sick in the head, but then we dead there. Trying to put a foreign on road, and then we head there. We don't like Titanic. It's high find where we're head at. You put your mind with me, that will make you say, ooh.
Clouds and cats with the black cats in the sketch. Man, then know it's so can you gotta
she wanna be my playboy bunny, I guess I'm huge. I came from the Rex where they could with the text. SMS got a text, now your wife giving that. Are you doing? It's don't get close, so we the gang. It's don't get close, you will get smoked, you cannot hang. I'll shoot his neck, I'll shoot his chest, I'll shoot his fangs. It's don't get close, so we the gang. Be the hardest stuff, y'all butter stuff. Plus like turning up to the dust.
Artists all have fans. Like they got.
Know what I will do to us. On the clock, I'll be bringing back the Holocaust. Hit them up, long distance, no contact. When I pop it up, treat me like a movie star. Now she wanna love me cause I'm back from the metal bar. Cocaine white, like I'm walking around with cotton buds. Treat it like an acrobat, flip it and I'm stretching down. Niggas talking like they G's, all they do is rap beat. Talking all that shit up in on Snack DVD. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Battle who, when, where, never. Are you done?
Did I vent enough? Yeah. If nothing else, this video demonstrates how quickly your mental. I put up with a lot of shit for no reason. I put up with it.
Are you dumb? Battle who, when, where, never. I let my dread hang, put 12K from my G-Stack. If you're shorty fiending, then I might just have to
wash my hands when I come in my house. All I can smell is fucking secondhand smoke.
I'm getting out the mud, community housing. North side of the rest, places you weren't allowed in. Bitches used to laugh at the kid, and I wanna see me. Told her put these on so you can see me coming in 3D. Forrest coming to the money, you looking like Bueller. Your favorite's not for everybody, I had to maneuver. Shooting for the stars, that was that way they were shooting. I go Bob the Builder for the fix up if you acting funny. Yeah. Are you dumb? Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. A nigga wrote a statement on me. Who can I trust? My mom's denying a women's shelter. It was just us. A man tried to come for the kid. I told him head back ever before they start aiming at your head back. You get that? Backhand the back of your head. They tell you head back. They wanna let they sick in the head, but then we dead yet. Trying to put a foreign on road and then we head there. Going down like Titanic. It's high find where we're head at. Keep a young mind with me. That would make you say ooh. Or one to the west, bumping that day east. In my city, little nigga, I'm a don like you. She wanna be my playboy bunny, I guess I'm huge. I came from the Rex where they could with the text. SMS got a text like a wait.
The reason I walk up to the
don't get close, so we the gang.
I'm proving that from a block away you're watching. Because when I do that, you turn real fast and look. Yeah. I'm proving that you're staring at me for no fucking reason.
Turning up to the dark side. See him and me not imagine if I had a back. Know what I will do.
How dare you?
I'll be bringing back long distance, no contact. When I pop it up, treat me like a movie star. Now she wanna love me cause I'm back from the metal bar. Cocaine white, like I'm walking around with cotton buds. Treat it like an acrobat, flip it and I'm stretching down. Niggas talking like they G's, all they do is rap beat. Talking all that shit up spit on smack DVD.
If I end this video and start a new one, if they choose to delete this one or whatever for community standards, the after picture will still be up. If I do it in one long video, it's a stupid little technicalities. It better be good, so I got a bunch of fucking, nope, I don't know what that is. Which I don't normally care, but it's a bunch of weird random numbers.
Yeah. Certain man gotta fix up quick. The general. Are you dumb? Better who, when, where, never fix up. I let my dreads hang, put 12K for my G-back. If you're shorty fiending, then I might just have to fix. I'm the shopper's drug mart booming in the 6. How you get it? Out the mud, community housing. North side of the rest, places you weren't allowed in. Bitches used to laugh at the kid and I wanna see me. Told her put these on so you can see me coming in 3D. Forrest coming to the money, you looking like Bueller. If it's not for everybody, I had to maneuver. We were shooting for the stars, I was that way they were shooting. I go Bob the Builder for the fix up if you acting funny. Yeah.
Are you dumb?
Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush.
I've got the only 3-digit intercom number in the building, as far as I know.
My mom's and I in a women's
Somebody
shelter.
rang it last night. I wasn't doing it. They're trying to pull up the spelling of my name.
Before they start aiming at your head back. You get that? Backhand the back of your head. They tell you head back. They wanna let they sick in the head, but then we dead that. Trying to put a four in our road, and then we head that. Going down like Titanic is how I found where her head at. Keep a young mind with me, that would make you say, ooh. Or one to the west, bumping that day east. In my city, little nigga, I'm a don like you. She wanna be my playboy.
A street-level narco-trafficking gang.
I came from the Rex where they work with the text. That's a mess, got a text like a weight. Give it that. Are you drunk? It don't get close, it don't get close, so we the gang. It don't get close, you won't get smoked, you cannot hang. I'll shoot his neck, I'll shoot his chest, I'll shoot his bangs. It don't get close, so we the gang. Road dog, be the hardest stone, y'all butter slot. Block party turning up, to the dark block it up. All of them, they talk a lot, see them and they not in block. Imagine if I had a map, know what I would do to us. Scope on the clock, I'll be bringing back the Holocaust. Hit them up, long distance, no holocaust. Nothing when I pop it up, treat me like a movie star. Now she wanna love me cause I'm back from the metal bars. Cocaine white, like I'm walking around with cotton buds. Treat it like an acrobat, flip it and I'm stretching down. Niggas talking like they cheat, all they do is rap beat. Talking all that shit up, fit on smack DVD. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Better who, when, where, never. Are you dumb? Yeah. Certain man gotta fix it quick.
On est très contagieux, qu'on soit symptomatique ou non. Et pendant cette période-là, en fait, on peut transmettre la maladie à toutes les personnes autour de nous. On peut transmettre la maladie à 80 personnes, toutes les personnes qu'on voit. Donc c'est sûr que dans ce contexte, c'est très important de se faire tester et surtout, c'est très important de changer de logique de dépistage. C'est-à-dire qu'on peut ajouter des outils à notre coffre à outils de dépistage, si je peux dire, comme les tests rapides ou tests antigéniques, en fait c'est la même chose, qui permettent en 15 minutes, avec un prélèvement salivaire, de savoir si on est dans cette période hyper.
Ce qui est intéressant dans l'enquête, c'est que les gens n'ont pas peur de représailles ou d'avoir une amende parce qu'ils n'ont pas été testés. La première raison évoquée, c'est que c'est pas nécessaire. La dangerosité de la maladie, qu'est-ce qui explique ces réticences-là?
Mais il y a aussi une certaine réticence au prélèvement nasopharyngé pour avoir fait plusieurs fois moi-même, c'est quelque chose de très désagréable. Et c'est l'idée aussi de se déplacer pour aller subir ce prélèvement très désagréable. Dans ce contexte, quand on a des symptômes pendant 2 ou 3 jours, mais on peut avoir une préférence pour rester à la maison plutôt que d'aller faire ce test très désagréable. C'est pour ça qu'il faut plutôt changer de stratégie et amener les tests chez les gens avec les tests rapides, par exemple, que les personnes peuvent s'administrer elles-mêmes en quelques secondes. C'est très facile à faire.
Mais si les gens avaient les tests rapides chez eux, vous croyez que s'ils
element in the Canadian forces is about
s'isoleraient, ils feraient tout le nécessaire parce que il y a aussi des gens qui veulent pas de perte économique. Il y a des gens qui veulent pas
known it's a problem for 27 years, well, longer than that. It goes in the newspaper
Oui,
then.
absolument, mais ça amènerait quand même un facteur de plus pour sensibiliser les gens. S'ils avaient accès à ces tests-là, certains de ces tests sont des petits kits comme des tests de grossesse, très faciles à utiliser, mais s'ils ont des symptômes, en fait, on leur offrirait l'opportunité de pouvoir, au premier symptôme, faire ce petit test, avoir un résultat en 15 minutes.
Freaking soccer players, is that what the deal is? I don't know. That's why I never realized
de manière très, très facile et très contagieuse, et ils pourraient en fait envoyer à l'hôpital leurs collègues, leurs conjoints ou d'autres personnes. Donc ça serait une étape de plus pour sensibiliser en fait les individus.
Mais en même temps, bon, on voit que peu de gens, par exemple, ont l'alerte COVID sur leur téléphone. Il y a vraiment une banalisation de la maladie, surtout chez les plus jeunes.
Oui, c'est vrai qu'on retrouve un peu cette idée-là, mais il faut continuer de sensibiliser et de faire des campagnes, en fait, justement, de sensibilisation pour montrer aux jeunes, en fait, que la maladie, oui, c'est vrai qu'elle atteint moins les jeunes, mais quand même, les séquelles associées à la maladie peuvent être très fortes chez certains jeunes. Ils peuvent avoir des problèmes respiratoires après pendant longtemps, une perte de goût, une perte d'odorat aussi pendant un long moment après avoir contracté la Covid, et puis sans négliger aussi tout l'aspect sur la société au complet. Quand un jeune attrape la Covid, souvent il la transmet à d'autres, et ça peut être des personnes âgées, ça peut être des personnes qui vont se faire hospitaliser, et notre système de soins est à bout de souffle actuellement.
Je ne veux pas vous laisser partir sans parler de ce qui a été annoncé par M. Trudeau tout à l'heure, c'est-à-dire nouvelles mesures pour les voyageurs qui rentrent au pays, quarantaine obligatoire et tout. Est-ce que ça va être suffisant pour contrer, par exemple, l'arrivée des fameux variants sur le territoire canadien?
Mais ce que j'ai compris des annonces de Trudeau, puisque j'ai pas pu l'écouter, c'est qu'il va y avoir...
So just remember, this past year, I've had the cops call to me. Once, I don't know why I'm here. Once, because someone pulled a gun on me. Once, because somebody saw me clearing garbage from a storm drain. Once, because I pushed elevator buttons. That's what the person yelled. Clarice, or whatever the fuck her name yelled. She yelled a C name. Some woman's name starts with a C. All right, let's say it's Clarice. Christine, the car, whatever. Catherine, I don't fucking know. Clarice, call the cops. He touched the buttons. Call the police. And on the video, that's when I'm leaving, and I turn around and I yell some shit, and I come back and leave. But the story that they're presenting in court is not what was said to the police. Say, oh, we on the video you had a verbal interaction. You saw me speaking with my face covered. You saw me speaking. You saw me speaking with my face covered on the video. So you watched the video. What did the security guard say? Oh, we didn't talk to him. Then you didn't watch the video either. How'd you pull up the video? Because one of the things the security guard does, I mean, technology advances faster than the law, but the guy sits there all day at the security desk. That's not all he does, but he's at the security desk, and that's where the cameras, the monitors are. So how do they have? So that, what did I say? So I don't know why I'm here. He touched buttons. He's clearing a storm drain, and somebody pulled a gun on me. And what was number 5? This is what goes through my head. They can call the cops on me for shit like this. Somebody opening my door while I'm in here. Oh, you have to call 311. People are hitting me over race. It's a race-based crime. It's a hate-based. It's a hate crime. Well, what's your race? They're not allowed to ask that. So I'm going to count this as 2. Because the second one, oh, well, South Africa's not a country. Oh, really? It's a region. It's a region, eh? You could say that about South Sudan, but not North Sudan. Actually, you can't this year. From this year onwards, they sort of, I guess, I don't believe this peace process worked. But supposedly, at least for now, they're a country. Up until last year, Sudan, South Sudan, you could say was a region. I think the Golan Heights, the Gaza Strip, Israel, and there's a patch over by Syria, and all these places you could call regions. But South Africa's a fucking country. Oh, they call it? It's the south part of Africa. There's no, like, I don't know how these people have these jobs, and they obviously couldn't pick these places out on a map. because they're so convinced. If he said, I thought that was a region and not a, which by the way, it doesn't matter. If I say I'm from there and somebody decides to hit me for that, which isn't exactly what happened, but it's close enough for these purposes. You saying, oh, well, it's not a country is just you perpetuating more racism at me. Oh, he hit you because you're an Indian? Well, you're not an Indian because they don't exist. Remember my teachers. Oh, that's not real. Made up by Hollywood. Really? Because I'm standing right here. The fucking guards looking at me funny. Like, I don't understand how to speak English. Like, I'm saying, like, I don't understand how jail works. Like, I think I'm going to go sleep in the TV. I keep asking them where the wigwam is. And they look at me funny. And if I say it again, I can't remember if they made me say it twice, but then it's on the other side. It's on the complete other side of the jail. Okay. This is my third time in this fucking facility. And I still haven't seen a regular range yet. I saw a pseudo regular range. Because there's normally 2 people in those cells. That's not comfortable. I don't care who you are. 2 people. The second person is what makes it. You're in jail with some other idiot that you will most likely think probably belongs there. On the off chance you think he doesn't belong there, that does no good because you're still sitting there with him. That makes the whole process bullshit. And paying a debt to society and blah, blah, blah. You never have a chance to think by yourself alone of this fucking bullshit where they set up the jails. The Netherlands closed 8 penitentiaries because there's nobody in them. They closed 8 penitentiaries. So they had penitentiaries, they closed them. In Canada, we tear down a jail. We build a bigger one on top of it.
Ont bénéficié de cette fermeture parce que en fait ce que permet la fermeture c'est pas tant de faire plus, ça permet de faire les choses dans la durée sans être interrompu par des journées d'ouverture.
Est-ce que les gens qui sont habitués d'aller au Louvre et qui vont retourner, parce qu'un jour vous allez rouvrir vos portes évidemment, vont trouver un Louvre très différent?
Non, ils ne vont pas trouver un Louvre très différent. Je crois surtout qu'ils vont être très très contents qu'on rouvre nos portes, mais ils auront. Ça c'est déjà une première chose parce que ce qu'il faut voir, c'est que on est fermé quand même depuis des mois et que pour nous conservateurs et gens qui travaillons au Louvre, c'est vraiment un crève-cœur que ces galeries fermées. Alors évidemment, on fait tout ce qu'on peut faire, mais notre objectif, c'est l'ouverture. Et lorsqu'on va rouvrir, le public verra un Louvre qui aura peut-être été nettoyé plus de fond en comble qu'il ne l'était précédemment.
Il y a plusieurs musées nord-américains, entre autres le Musée des Beaux-Arts de Montréal, qui ont décidé d'offrir des expositions virtuelles, des expositions qui étaient prévues, mais qu'on dit, bon, ben, le public ne peut pas venir, on va au moins montrer toutes ces œuvres-là sur Internet de façon virtuelle. Le Louvre n'a pas fait ça. Il y avait déjà sur votre site des visites petites de petits coins du Louvre, mais vous n'avez pas voulu faire de grandes expositions. Pourquoi?
Alors, ce qu'on a pour le moment, c'est terrible, c'est qu'on a 2 grandes expositions et une exposition consacrée à la sculpture de la Renaissance. L'exposition consacrée à la sculpture de la Renaissance n'a été ouverte que 6 jours. Et donc on a toutes les œuvres qui sont là. Alors, ce qu'on appelle l'exposition virtuelle, c'est une exposition avec des œuvres virtuelles. Ce qu'on a fait, c'est la possibilité de visiter des bouts de cette exposition avec quand même dans l'espoir qu'on puisse ouvrir, entre voir des choses, des œuvres sur son écran et voir des œuvres en vrai, il y a une grande différence. L'offre numérique du Louvre pendant la fermeture, c'est aussi, nous avons fait aussi des concerts. Alors là, des concerts qui ont vraiment été faits virtuellement, sans personne dans l'auditorium, des conférences, etc., etc.
Et pourquoi ne pas montrer vos grandes expositions justement en disant, bon ben, au moins le public pourra voir ça?
Alors, il y a la possibilité de voir des présentations de ces expositions sur le site. Ça, il y a la possibilité, oui. Mais disons qu'on n'a pas conçu des expositions spécialement pour, comme certains musées ou certaines institutions l'ont fait, spécialement pour l'Internet.
Qu'est-ce qui est le plus compliqué au plan logistique de cette longue fermeture?
Alors, la chose extrêmement compliquée, c'est tous les reports d'exposition. C'est-à-dire que le département des peintures, par exemple, prête à peu près 450 œuvres par an, et que ces œuvres sont aujourd'hui partout dans le monde, avec des expositions qui ont fermé, et puis pour les mois et les semaines et les années à venir, tous les musées au monde nous ont dit « Ah ben on voudrait changer nos dates ». Donc ça, nous sommes en ce moment dans une complication extrême, mais tous les musées du monde, dans la gestion des plannings et des transports de retard.
It's not whether I agree, it's really people's position on things. It's like a debate club thing. It's a false thing. We're all arguing, they're all weird.
Et bien sûr, c'est ce qui est un problème,
Let's argue about vaccines.
de recettes, parce que les
why isn't the Prime Minister doing something the Prime Minister can't
les
do?
pertes de recettes sont évidemment tout à fait
Let's bother the Governor General till she resigns. That was a smart move. Now, who's in charge of the fucking army? You could laugh like it's just an administrative thing. Well, when the U.S. government doesn't approve a spending bill, they literally do a government shutdown. Here in Canada, your garbage will still get taken away for a few weeks. In fact, you're more at risk of the garbage guys going on strike than the government disappearing. The government here is like, if we shut down, the British might come back. Plus, you got these Yankees.
Donc c'est une perte qui est extrêmement importante et qui va avoir évidemment des incidences.
I'm not making these two. Oh, I want you all to click and subscribe. Vote me number 3 or 4 on the. I got a top 200 list too. You don't want to be on it. But it's funny because people float to the top and then every so often they get swiped to the side because they die some other way. People want to do things to us that hurt us. Cause fucking irreparable harm. I think genocide is something they go, oh, well, we didn't mean to. It doesn't matter what you meant to do. What you tell me you meant to do, you're fucking lying anyway. Alright, can I get something on fucking. I'm not listening to these. Oh, what time is it? Shit. The premiere.
Story for this year. I think it's more likely a story as we go on.
Okay, so immediately they've been starting them exactly 30 seconds after he starts talking, which apparently is a minute past 1 or so, something like that. Oh, and if you wonder the reason why I stopped typing my phone number in, I used to throw shit in the chat thing to make sure it was working. And I stopped putting the phone number because apparently I'm in the white pages. Oh, let's see. So, you really want to fucking get a hold of me, you can. Hey, perfect. Yeah, a long time ago they told me it would cost me $2 a month to get my number private, not listed in the fucking white pages. I no longer remember if I asked for that or not. But I noticed for the first like 6 or 7 years it wasn't listed anywhere. I think now they just took it off of Facebook or something. I don't think the phone company gave it to them. I'm incredibly pale. You could say my features, and the first thing you think is not a black person. That's fine. Look up Elijah Gray. And, who was the other one? George Washington Carver. Yeah, they don't look quite. Yeah. Dutch planters.
I'm the shopper's drug mark booming in the 6. I can get it out the mud, community house. North side of the Rex, places you weren't allowed in.
It has to be credible against a specific person, an identifiable individual. I'm real close to all the water.
Everybody, I had to maneuver. We were shooting for the stars. That was that way they were shooting. I go pop the builder for the fix up if you acting funny. Yeah.
Are you dumb?
Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. A nigga wrote a statement on me, who can I trust? No, my mom's a night in a women's shelter, it was just us. A man trying to comfort a kid, I told him head back before they start aiming at your head back.
Like some grass by
Kind of back of your head, they'll tell you head back. Everybody wanna let they sick in the head, but then we head down. Trying to put a foreign on road, and then we head down. Going down like Titanic, it's high if I were headed. She put young mind with me, that would make you say, one to the west, bumping that day east. In my city, little nigga, I'm a don like you. She wanna be my playboy bunny, I guess I'm cute. I came from the Rex where they good with the text. SMS, got a text, now your wife giving neck. You drunk? It's don't get close, so we the gang. It's don't get close, you will get smoked, you cannot hang. I'll shoot his neck, I'll shoot his chest, I'll shoot his fangs. It's don't get close, so we the gang. Grown dog, be the hardest stove, y'all butter sock. Block party turning up, till the dogs locked it up. All of them we cock a lot, see him in.
With the Toolies is best friend. What just happened?
Matching if I had a Mac, know what I would do to us. Go on the clock, I'll be bringing back the hologram. Hit him up, long distance, no calling cut. Love me when I pop it up, treat me like a movie star. Now she wanna love me cause I'm back from the middle part. Cocaine white,
all you people that want to interfere with whatever message we're getting.
Flipping it, I'm shutting down. Niggas talking like the G's, all they do is rap beat. Talking on that shit, I've been on snack DVD.
They call it white rat. It's a lab rat. It's something that it's okay to experiment on. World War II, Dr. whatever the fuck his name was. Dr. Shock from South Africa, who now lives in Alberta, used to do forced sex changes on people. Yeah, I say you're gay. A cop arrests you. This doctor operates on you. And this piece of shit gets to live. But that's okay. I don't mind him living here because it's nice and close. I can walk to his house if I can get enough food in my home.
The general. Dumb, better, cool, when, where, never fix them. I left my dreads hang, put 12K from my teeth back. If you're shorty fiending, then I might just have to fix. I'm the shopper's drug mart booming in the 6. How you get it? Out the mud, community housing. North side of the rest, places you weren't allowed in. Bitches used to laugh at the kid, and I wanna see me. Told her put these on, so you can see me coming in the city. Tourist coming to the money, looking at Bueller. If it's not for everybody, I had to maneuver. We were shooting for the stars, I was that way they were shooting. I could pop the builder for the big stuff if you acting funny. Certain man get crushed on road and keep it hush. A nigga wrote a statement on me, who can I trust? My mom's and I in the women's
based on
shelter,
their
which is
race or
us.
religion or
Man
nothing.
trying to come for the kid, I know head back before they start aiming at your head back. Get that, the backhand the back of your head, until you head back. They wanna let they sick in the head, but then we dead there. I'm trying to put a foreign on road, and then we head there. Going down like Titanic, it's high, find where her head at. Keep a young mind with me, that would make you say, or one to the west, bumping that day east. In my city, little nigga, I'm a don like you. She wanna be my playboy bunny, I guess I'm cute. I came from the Rex where they good with the text. SMS, got a text, now your wife giving neck. You do it, don't get close, so we the gang. It's don't get close, you will get smoked, you cannot hang. I'll shoot his neck, I'll shoot his chest, I'll shoot his fangs. It's don't get close, so we the gang. Be the hardest stove, y'all butter sock. Block party turning up, till the dogs locked it up. All of them we cock a lot, see him and they nodding out. Matching if I had a Mac, know what I would do to us. Go on the clock, I'll be bringing back the hologram. Hit him up, long distance, no calling cut. Love me when I pop it up, treat me like a movie star. Now she wanna love me cause I'm back from the middle part. Cocaine white, like I'm walking around with cotton buds. Treat it like an acrobat, flipping and I'm stretching down. Niggas talking like they G's, all they do is rap beat. Talking all that shit up been on snack DVD. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Certain mans get crushed on road and keep it hush. Battle cool, when, where, never. Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? Steve, we've known about the problem for some time. Okay, so I'm not just going that short off. I'm trying to 170,000. Justin, did you give them the money? Because if you did money, you better give some of it back, eh? Jesus Christ is dead. So you can letting the white boy set up the drug deal. So why am I doing this way? What I was trying to do, why break up some pretty bugs? I got all this dusty shit.
From Pfizer at the same time.
It's don't get close. You already know.
vaccines abroad. However,
yeah, so I don't know what all got captured by the video boxing. So the Premier can say whatever he wants. The European Union says Pfizer has to get
a deadly early morning house fire in Toronto's East End near Coxwell and Gerrard. 680's Mark Douglas is there, and he joins us live now with the very latest from the scene. Mark.
Well, several of the Toronto fire crews that are still here are starting to pack up, but they are leaving behind a house that's been gutted by fire, and a fire that killed 4 people. From the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office, Inspector Jason Williams says now it's up to the OFM team to find out exactly how this happened.
Where did the fire originate? Then we deal with the other problems we're trying to isolate.
Is this purple fucking bush?
And a potential ignition sequences where that's going to give us the causation of the fire.
And Williams says other big questions to answer include: were there working smoke alarms in the house? Why did the 4 people who died not get outside in time? Neighbors described at least one resident coming out partially dressed and banging on their door looking for help. We're also told by neighbors that the people who live here was a woman who's been here for about 50 years, along with her partner and 2 children. We have had no official confirmation on the identities of the people who were killed or injured during this horrible fire here on Gainsborough Road. Reporting live near Gerrard and Coxwell, I'm Mark Douglas.
680 News Time 107. Well,
I may be a piece of shit, but you force people to. The long story short is they force people to live in conditions.
Franklin always crunching the numbers for us. Joining us live now with some of the details and of course, some perspective.
Steve, 1,837 new cases today based on more than 69,000 tests. This is the 12th day in a row of less than 3,000 new cases. 51 cases of the variant first found in the UK have been identified in Ontario so far. 58 additional deaths related to the virus also being reported. Dr. Eileen Davila, Toronto's medical officer of health, says while the numbers are down, we need to continue to follow the rules,
you're not testing people for antibodies.
What we're actually seeing is that as people are increasingly staying home
if I got tested every
maintaining
other
their
day,
distance,
if I was a long-term care resident and was sick the exact same times I was sick,
we know that we've
I would have
got
been
these new
tested
variants of
every day
concern.
positive would have been 30 times the first time.
Better, as we understand. Premier Ford will be making an announcement at 3 this afternoon. He's expected to expand on the federal travel announcement, as well as announce more testing in schools and long-term care homes. Reporting live, Irene Precklett, 680 News. The federal government has designated today as a National Day of Remembrance of the Quebec City mosque attack in honor of the victims of that deadly attack 4 years ago.
6 people were killed and 19 seriously injured when gunman Alexandre Bissonnette burst into the Islamic Cultural Center of Quebec City. The 29th of January will officially be the National Day of Remembrance for the attack. Bissonnette eventually pleaded guilty to 6 counts of first-degree murder and 6 of attempted murder. Roger Ward, the Canadian Press.
And York Regional Police have been arrested and charged about violence and gunfire in Newmarket. They say early Sunday morning, police got called to Maurice Court near Yonge and Davis Drive after getting reports of shots being fired at a home. And no one was injured, and investigators believe the shots were fired from a black Mercedes. We can tell you right now, a
black Mercedes is from shoot bullets?
From Richmond Hill is now facing a number of charges. They include possession of a weapon for dangerous purpose, careless use of a firearm, and mischief under $5,000. Well, coming up in just 30 seconds, check out the price of gas.
City News Time 109.
Your news now on your radio, online, and on your smart speaker.
Play 680 News.
If cancer were a place, nearly the entire population of Kitchener would be diagnosed every year. Right now, one Canadian hears his cancer every 3 minutes. The researchers
when I started calling it COVID-20 because they wouldn't tell us what the fuck was going on.
But more than 100 different diseases.
I was already over this shit by the time they start telling us the name. B117 and 501Y.B2 T1.
Science is bigger than any tumor, and life is bigger than cancer.
There's 146.
And on top of the 680 News gas price update, Info says the price of gas set to go up a penny at midnight to $1.14.
Hey, dude, what happened to the suicide rate in this country?
News Time 110.
Sarah?
Oh, I'm a dick for talking about it.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff wants to talk retirement plans tonight. We're getting killed on fees. You should check out Questrade. We switched over last year. It's been great for us. With everything going on these days, we'll be fine. Sarah, look at me. You, Jeff, the kids, deserve to be way more than just fine. It's time to switch to Quest
Holy fuck, I got a bunch of. So this one says 444, the other one says 777. I know it's not impossible, but it gets your attention. I got the number 666 on like 5 banknotes in a year.
This year we are temporarily closed. We
That'll
allow
get your
you to
attention.
visit us online on our updated website
I don't know
or
what's supposed to
contact us for a virtual tour to make your home your castle.
I'll keep you guys back. After me.
Go to thechesterfieldshop.com for more of our great factory special savings. And please stay safe.
6:80 news time, 1:11. Time now for traffic and weather. Taylor on ones. Here's Carrie.
Yeah, the mouse does get
Report
into
is
the
brought to you
garbage.
by 407 ETR. One of the heaviest routes
When I
right
move
now
it
is the
over here,
northbound
he came up to the top
427
and looked
up at the
right at
top
me
end.
like, what the
It's
fuck are you
jammed from
doing,
the
man?
407 onto the Highway 7
Mouse is
ramp.
not
That's because
afraid,
of
he
all
has
of
no.
that construction going on. The 427 remains closed
Whatever
from
fear
Highway
he
7
has
to
of
Subway
humans is something
over
he's
that
learned.
long-term road project. Southbound 427, we just got word that the ramp to the eastbound 407, that has now reopened. So they reopened that ramp well ahead of
Premier's
schedule.
not doing nothing today?
That's good to go now.
Nothing.
Southbound 427
What's
access
the-
onto the eastbound 407. Eastbound on the
second
401, it looks like a smooth
box,
drive
too.
across the GTA. Not really seeing any delays at all. No problems to tell you about. And a smooth drive on the westbound side of the 401 as well. Looks like delays have eased on the southbound 404. Getting onto the 401 ramps, it's not too bad anymore. If you're getting around on city streets, it's a bit busy on Eglinton in both directions approaching Chaplin, and that's because of ongoing construction there. The safety of drivers, both on and off the road, means everything to 407 ETR. That's why they've developed a COVID assistance program for those who need it most. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
It'll feel colder than the temperature indicates with the north wind today. Our guaranteed high just -7, below average. Higher chance of flurries, especially for the north GTA. Snow squalls
Below
continue for the
average.
snow belt.
What's the average?
-14 for the low. It'll feel like -22 overnight. Tomorrow, Saturday, mainly sunny, continuing cold. The high -7. Snow possible
And
Sunday
you
night.
introduced
and
us
for
to the
Monday
concept of
morning.
wind chill.
For
It's
today,
going to
the
feel
guaranteed
colder
high
than
just
it actually
-7.
is.
Right
Thank
now
you.
in downtown
We
Toronto,
were
we have
kind
got
of used
overcast
to
conditions
that.
right now and -10 degrees, feeling like -15 with the wind. Over at Pearson, though, it is overcast and -11, feeling like
Wait, all you
-16.
people.
680 news time, 112.
What's
It's
this guy's
time
name?
for the
Stuart?
Dynamic Funds market
Steve?
minutes. And for that, let's check into the business center. And what a day it's been so far, Chris.
I don't even know where to start,
you say
Steve. I
damn?
think we'll start with the Dow.
You say
It's
damn.
slipped below 30,000.
They wouldn't
down
dare
by
say the word damn on the edge.
660
It's like some
points. The
internal
S&P
rule
is off
about it.
80 points. The Nasdaq down by 302. So U.S. markets
10,000 people
potentially
died
looking at
today
their
from
worst
COVID.
week in months.
Damn!
The TSX
Somebody
down
should
by
say it.
311, 17,345. That is a
They're
drop of
allowed. In Canada, they're
1.7%,
allowed.
Not nearly as severe as what we're seeing in the U.S. All markets stateside right now down by at least 2.1%. Pretty big weight coming from industrial stocks. We did hear about these new travel restrictions. Air Canada stock down 7.5%. Transat off by 5%. The gold stocks helping to offset the losses, although it's a bit of a losing battle. Gold is also up a tie for the day, still up by $13, $18.54. Oil is down 4 cents, 52.30 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar higher by 1/10 cent.
Well, it is one nice thing about Canada. It don't matter what language the pack's
At
printed
the
in.
business
It
center,
doesn't.
I'm Chris McCusker.
We're all
You don't know how many
risk
weed
these
smokers
days.
in the West End
Your
right now are
investments
gone.
should be no exception. A
Fuck the
financial
Eddie.
advisor can help you build a resilient portfolio.
I'm trying to learn the word now, looking it up on Google. There's got to be papers
What
and
happens
weeds
when
or
you
some
sleep well?
shit.
You train well. You focus well. You eat well. You play well. Whatever your New Year's resolution, it all starts with better sleep. And that begins
Like,
with
better
Sleep
sleep.
Country.
Fuck off.
The
You
New
better
Year
sleep.
New event is on now. Get great deals on all your sleep essentials, like mattresses, bedding, and pillows. Our sleep experts are online at sleepcountry.ca to help you wake up to better sleep. Sleep well, stay well. Sleep Country.
Mandarin is back with our dumpling festival to celebrate Chinese New Year in style. We've added festival favorites including siumai, beef pot stickers, and chicken dumplings to our extensive takeout and delivery menu of over 100 dishes. Don't miss Chinese
The
New Year
watermarks
at
run
Mandarin.
lengthwise.
Takeout and
Why?
delivery has never been
Why?
so easy or tasted so good. Ends February 28th while supplies last. A celebration of taste. Mandarin. Phone or order now at mandarinrestaurant.com.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
This is 680 News. Overcast right now in downtown Toronto, -10, feeling like -15 with the wind. And good afternoon, I'm Steve Roberts.
And I'm Sarah Harris. Here are the top stories this hour.
That's simple. That's -10 is -15 with the, there we go. 5 for every 10. That's 50% worse. Okay, that makes sense. No, we need to get a wind chill estimator.
We are learning, though, from the feds today that another vaccine supplier, this time Moderna, is cutting back on their deliveries next week.
Good.
And the Ontario Fire Marshal continues to investigate a deadly early morning house fire in the city's east end near Coxwell and Gerrard. 4 people were killed and 2 others in hospital. It's time now, though, for 680 Sports. And from Sportsnet 590 to Fan, here's Andrew Nye.
Steve, Ryan Baracki and the Blue Jays shared your...
Did they just sign somebody? I heard 150 million, but I think I heard that wrong.
It's exciting, you know, when you get
sorting through this with us.
My pleasure. Take care. Have a good weekend.
You as well. There's our travel expert, Marty Firestone, president of Travel Secure.
I saw Firestone tires on a truck today, which I only noticed because I didn't think about it. They changed the company name a few years ago. Yeah.
640 Toronto and a check of the Friday Drive.
The Houston Texans have officially hired David Culley as the 4th head coach in franchise history. And happening now in San Diego, round 2 of the Farmers Insurance Open. Canada's Adam Hadwin even through 1. He remains at 3 under. 5 shots behind
I hate the professional sports coverage. The statistics they give you like 3 statistics over and over and over and over. That's all they compare. And then if you listen to one,
attending a friend's wedding.
Junior hockey, minor hockey.
Contributing to a significant spike in COVID-19 cases in Ontario. Community spread is making more and more people sick, threatening to overwhelm our hospitals and putting all of us at risk. Vaccines will help protect us.
And the statistics they pull up, like the announcers can pull up. I guess they must have it on a computer somewhere.
Like buying groceries. Stay home, stay safe.
Like how many, like player by player, who's had this many goals or this many, whatever you guys gonna say, assists.
Fresh chicken breasts are just $3 a pound. That's half off. No birthday.
You got every fucking statistic possible. It's the same way these people reporting on the business. The Dow is up, so y'all made money.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing new measures aimed at further restricting international
The Premier's not doing anything?
More infectious variants of the coronavirus continue to spread around the world.
I don't believe you, because the Prime Minister was on at 11 and he was still.
And Mexico beginning this Sunday.
I can't see the one.
All international flights will only be allowed to land in a number of places: Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, or Montreal.
By putting in place these tough measures now, we can look forward to a better time when we can all plan those vacations.
Now, under the new rules, passengers entering Canada
this place was a vacation for your
PCR
people,
test
buddy.
for COVID-19 as they arrive at the airport, and then self-isolate at an approved hotel at their own expense for up to 3 days as they wait for their results. Another COVID vaccine should be close to getting its Health Canada approval now. Johnson & Johnson testing its one-shot vaccine in 8 different countries. And right now says it's 85% effective against most serious symptoms of the illness. The vaccine worked better in the U.S. than it did in South Africa, where it was up against a tougher mutated virus there. And unlike the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson candidate doesn't have any special storage requirements. Canada, by the way, does have a deal with Johnson & Johnson for up to 38 million doses. And China says it will no longer recognize the British National Overseas Passport as a valid travel document or any form of identification. The decision came just hours after the UK announced it would begin taking passport applications from Hong Kong residents. Under the plan, as many as 5.4 million Hong Kong residents could be eligible to live and work in the UK for 5 years and then apply for citizenship. Coming up in just 60 seconds, Kerry Prunske standing by. We'll look at the roads and we'll check your extended and unfortunately cold forecast.
City News Time, 1:20.
Mom's accident was pretty serious.
That was scary.
But now?
She's better. She laughs at my jokes again.
And tells you to do your homework.
She's more like the old...
I'm supposed to feel bad for turning down the little kid talking about his mom. It's not real. They can ask us for money. We'll turn it back up and hear them ask us for money. So I've basically proven, at least as far as I can to myself, they don't let you document much in jail. If I have fresh air, it doesn't have to be filtered, it just has to be fresh. My health problems magically go away. I smoke less or don't smoke at all of the tobacco and the weed. Magically, the same people turning off the air, they're turning off the heat, so what are you going to do? You're going to close the window. And the same people decide that every fucking problem they cause by doing this, they're going to solve by spraying chemicals everywhere. Thanks. So you're gassing. You get the old dudes, they're going to gas us. That's what they're trying to do. You wouldn't believe the fucking math I got to do to figure out how to keep the air going in this. If I turn on the bathroom fan, it sucks air in from this motherfucking apartment. So I got to leave that door shut. So I don't know how much exhaust ventilation I should have, but a good half of it's his house getting ventilated. That's helpful. That's helpful. Somehow I only get dirty, filthy air out of that apartment. If I turn off my fan, the air blowing in comes right back through the ductwork. I get essentially fresh air. I don't like that because there's dust and shit. If I shut this window completely, I'm sucking in more air from other people's houses and shit. I'm just ventilating their apartments more. What are they gonna do? Close the window more? I'll get even less air. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous because these buildings were approved to be built based on engineering diagrams and documentation and shit, so that people wouldn't die from living in these buildings. They don't build 20-story buildings out of wood or even bricks. And what's the record? Like 17 floors for a brick building where the brick's actually structural. I watched them build this place across the street. I wouldn't buy it. I don't trust it. They poured all the footings in the winter and then built it as it warmed up throughout the year. They finished the top half. It doesn't add up to that. That doesn't seem right to me. They're keeping it warm by fucking putting plastic on the outside. There's no wall. They seal it with plastic and run heaters inside for the concrete to cure. It's going to wait 3 months for it to warm up. So in Toronto, sometimes it'll be warm and so like it'll be well above zero. For no good reason in December and January, and that makes sense to do some of this. The point was they knocked down an entire. They knocked down walls that are perfectly fine, that are structural, and then put up a facade type wall, which I'm certain is not going to last. They have panels with bricks cast into them, I guess, and they put them all on, and they don't line up right. The panels don't line up right. On the other side of this bridge, the entire wall, it looks like it's part of the bridge. I guess it's not technically structural, but the entire retaining wall is what it is, but it's this huge, thick fucking, it's 1931 or something. It's probably when that was cast, because that's when the bridge was built. Smash it all down, because these people know better. They keep digging this hole bigger on the other side of the street. And all that's happening is it's holding more and more and more water. What was water is now ice. You're trusting these guys to build your housing. That makes no sense to me.
What we've been talking about in Ottawa today, shares in Canada's big airlines taking a bit of a hit today. All those details just 60 seconds from now.
She's going to go, guarantee.
I cried hard so my ankle is swollen. I got the blink card, whipping up the whole shit. Magic tricks, watch me turn crack into
I'd say horrible things. I get it off my chest.
Who they like? Saying that I shot off.
I wouldn't care to like explain it after the fact, except I'm doing it.
Don't get close. You already know.
Hello, internet. What now? Seriously. I didn't light it yet. You idiots usually wait till I light it, and then all hell breaks loose on my screen. Come on, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop.